Was a different sentiment here in South Florida, where crowds gathered to remember the victims of Castro's tyranny. Local 2 News reporter Ian Margol is live at Tamiami Park with their story tonight. Ian.
Yeah, Carlos, this monument means a lot to the Cuban people who live here in South Florida, and you can see why. Take a look. These are names of exiles who passed away trying to get away from Fidel's reign. It's the same day they were interred. Several groups of Cuban exiles and Cuban-Americans came here to pay respects to their loved ones who were lost. A day of remembrance and mourning for many in Cuba, as Fidel Castro's remains were interred at a private cemetery. Meanwhile, in South Florida, a similar scene, but these Cuban exiles and Cuban-Americans aren't mourning Castro. They're reaching out to those who died trying to escape his rule.
He left a note saying that he was leaving the country, that we will hear from him.
Mayra Guerra was living in Cuba when her brother attempted to escape with several others, but never even made it off of the island nation.
They were leaving in a boat and they were shattered by bullets.
Guerra joined dozens of others to pay their respects at the Cuban Memorial in Tamiami Park on Sunday. Organizers saying they were honoring all martyrs and victims of Castro's regime.
We are together. We have to keep fighting for the freedom of Cuba. For people who don't believe that these things really happen, learn, read, educate yourself, and don't label people of Cuba like crazy.
It's obviously a very different attitude here than there was in Cuba on the very same day. Now, we heard a lot of these stories, incredible stories from people who were alive still here in South Florida about their loved ones who were killed. We'll have another one of those stories coming up at 6. We're live at Tamiami Park. Ian Margol, Local 10 News.